Calder Cup. I'm Brendan Burke. Welcome to the broadcast presented by GPL Federal Credit Union. Our focus is you. Jacob Markstrom to the left, J.F. Berube to the right. And those are the starting goaltenders in tonight's starting lineup, brought to you by Cooper Kia. Check out the full lineup of sleek and innovative Kias available now at Cooper Kia in Yorkville. The Comets roll with Will Acton, Brandon DeFazio, and Hunter Shinkarik up front. Alex Biega and Frank Carano on defense as the puck is dropped between Acton and Wheel and punched into the Comet zone. It is the high-flying line of Wheel, Murch, and O'Neill for Manchester as the puck taken out of the zone by Utica. Brandon DeFazio chasing after Benarchuk. And as Benarchuk squeaks away from DeFazio, he's run into by Hunter Shinkarik, who stumbles down to the ice. Acton went to center to DeFazio, defended well by the stick of Jordan Wheel. And a penalty upcoming here right off the bat as Brandon DeFazio threw the hit, and a cross-checking call will be made here just 28 seconds in. That leads us to tonight's officials, which are brought to you by the Dove Eye and Laser Center in New Hartford and Dr. Anthony Palumbo. Referees tonight, Terry Koharski and Tom Chmielewski. The linesmen are Ryan Gibbons and Francis Trempe. And right off the bat, Brandon DeFazio will sit for 2 minutes, allowing Manchester's power play to get an early start here. Manchester is 2 for 9 in the series on the power play, 9 for 59 in the postseason. After a 20.7% success rate during the regular season, the #1 power play unit in the entire American Hockey League. So not a shot on goal, but 2 minutes in penalties. Handed out, Wasey Hamilton back in the lineup for Utica, which is a welcome sign, and he'll be a part of this first penalty killing unit for the Utica Comets. Hamilton, Gauntz, Biega, and Huskins all in front of Jacob Markstrom. Face-off one back and through the two defensemen for Manchester, and it'll roll all the way in to the Monarch zone. Back behind the goal, they quickly send it up ice for Wheel, and ahead for Nick Shore. Shore off the skates of Biega, grabbed by Hamilton and thrown back out to neutral ice. Coming back in is Wheel on the near side. He's got the speed, comes down the wall, gave the puck up, put it at the blue line. Wheel got hammered, a shot through the front is stopped by Huskins, played out of the zone, short-handed. Here's Brendan Gauntz, one-on-one to the outside, working on Miller, cuts back, knocked down. Crown wants a call that they won't get. Puck given away, though. Brendan Gauntz will let Anderson get there, knuckle one wide as he let go of a hard, wobbly shot, and now O'Reilly tracks down the rebound. 18 minutes, 45 seconds to go here in the opening period. 1:13 left on the penalty to Brandon DeFazio. Miller up ice for Wheel. In across the Utica line, Wheel's pass shut down by O'Reilly. Given to Anderson and spun around the boards. Far side it is Friesen. Gets into it with Murch down low. Behind the net, this is Shore. Shore to the point. Given for Wheel. Wheel will wait. Shore on the half wall. Down to the goal line, O'Neill. Went to center off the skate of Anderson. It rolls back out to the blue line. Wheel collects there. To O'Neill, the AHL's MVP. Back to the top for Wheel. Wheel across, right side, Miller winds and shoots. Markstrom safe. Rebound swatted out of the air by Shore, but wide of the net. Loose puck near boards, and a good hit there delivered by Alex Friesen. And a downed Manchester Monarch is now drawing the Monarchs after Alex Friesen. As Terry Koharski said that was a shoulder check and there will be no penalty. But there is an injured Brian O'Neill, I believe, down on the ice for Manchester. But Alex Friesen went shoulder on shoulder and sent him flying into the wall. And he has yet to get back to his feet. Jordan Wheel was the one who was trying to get after Alex Friesen. All of a sudden, Paul Bissonnette comes wandering onto the ice for Manchester. And he'll be the one that'll try and bark at some of the Comets players. You know he's not going to be on the ice for the final 34 seconds of this power play, I'll tell you that. Terry Koharski, who called the cross-checking penalty against Brandon DeFazio, was quick to put his right arm up to his shoulder and say it was shoulder to shoulder, and there should be no and is no penalty. But the tone has been set here in Game 3 as the Comets have thrown out the body a few times. Comets win the face-off, they'll clear it down, and now in the final half a minute of the Manchester power play. Straight behind the Manchester net. It's now taken up ice by the captain, Vincent Laverty. Laverty for the near side for Benarchuk, and Benarchuk from the red line will dump it in around the back of Markstrom. He stops it. He rims it off the glass. It bounces to the front. Wasey Hamilton chops it down the ice in the final 10 seconds of the kill. Comets get O'Reilly and Grenier back out there with Biega and Anderson. 5 seconds to go as Bednarchuk comes out from behind the Manchester goal. Near side boards. Offsides coming here against Manchester. And the whistle has been blown. The Comets' power play or penalty kill is over. And this faceoff will come all the way back inside the Manchester zone. 2 shots on goal for Manchester during the power play. Markstrom made the saves on both. We've played 2 minutes and 32 seconds here tonight. J.F. Berube has yet to see a shot. He is awaiting a face-off to his left with Grenier taking it for Utica. Grenier stepped around his man but couldn't feed it to Cal O'Reilly. It's back for Laverty to the right side of the Monarchs with a quick breakout to center. Nick Dowd, the overtime hero from game 2, bumps it into the Comets zone. Utica clears it, and then O'Reilly steals it from Vandergoolik, working in. Right side, Grenier steps in a circle. His shot deflected off to the corner. O'Reilly goes after Vandergoolik, who's able to punch this one ahead. Worked over to the boards, Clendenning trying to get back, and the big Justin Auger circles the goal, gets away from Clendenning. It's Auger near boards, knocked away by Cal O'Reilly, given to Grenier. Grenier to Jensen in his skates, couldn't find it, trying to work it on for Grenier. It's taken away by Forbert in front of the Manchester bench. He'll go back to his own face-off circles, and now for Auger in front of the bench. Across the ice, Clendenning will grab it for Utica and drift back behind Markstrom. Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals. Comets looking for their first win of the series. They're looking for their first lead of the series as well, as a long-range dump-in rolls in on goal and covered up by the left hand of Jean-Francois Berube. When I say this series has been tight, that doesn't even begin to describe how tight it has actually been. When it comes to game action and these two teams going head-to-head, the Manchester Monarchs have led 4 minutes and 2 seconds in game 1, 2 minutes and 7 seconds in game 2. This series has been tied for 95.3% of the time, and a penalty coming here against Manchester, and maybe one against Utica as well, as they came running after Sven Berchi. And as the linesmen try and break everybody apart, the Comets look like they'll have a power play this time. Manchester trying to respond to Utica's physicality, and Colin Miller took a run at Sven Berchi. Interference is the call. And that was a very late hit. And an easy call for Koharski to make. So now the Comets will have a chance to jump out and try and get something going offensively on the power play. Their power play is just 1-4-7 in the first 2 games of this series. O'Reilly, Grenier, and Conacher. They'll play with Sanguinetti and Corrado. And O'Reilly will grab the faceoff for Utica. And as he pushed it towards the boards, it is played to the blue line. Quickly worked to Sanguinetti on the right side. To the slot, here's Corrado with a tip and just wide. Grenier got a stick on that one. The Comets do have a power play goal on a backdoor play as the Manchester Monarchs clear it down. The goal was slammed home by Sven Berchi back in game 1. But Utica really doesn't have any net front goals. The tips, the rebounds, that hasn't been their style here in the finals. They'd like to get back to that as Grenier muscles his way down the boards, brings it behind the net. Slow pass around, comes to O'Reilly, quick center. Conacher rifled it wide on the glove side of Berube. Sanguinetti to the top to Corrado, to O'Reilly left circle, lines and shoots, it got tipped off the glass. Near side boards, Bednarchuk trying to clear. Held in nicely by Sanguinetti down low. To Grenier, back to Sanguinetti. To the top, and there's Corrado. Left side, O'Reilly. O'Reilly looking, goal line, Grenier tried to go top shelf with the backhand. It's blockered out of play by Berube. But the pressure in the first 56 seconds of the Comets' power play is impressive, if not good enough to get the game's first goal. This Comets Power Play is brought to you by Bowens Power Sports. Visit Bowens in Ilion for your recreational vehicle sales, service, and accessory needs. 1:04 to go on the penalty to Colin Miller, the AHL All-Star defenseman. Locked away on Manchester's first penalty. Alex Friesen will take the face-off. Hunter Shinkarik, Brendan Gauntz on either side. Clendening and Anderson working the point on this power play. And Friesen wins the draw. Tried to get it back to the point, couldn't, got it to Gauntz instead. Gauntz will get it to the line for Anderson, and now Clendening. Snapshot blocked down in front. Friesen will come to it. Chips it off the boards. Gauntz steers it back, and it's kicked out of the zone by Dowd. Anderson will come scoop it up and wait behind Markstrom for a brief moment before emerging. Comets skating from left to right here in the first period. Anderson to Clendening. He'll chip it down the wall. It winds up jumping into the Monarchs bench. And the face-off will be at center ice. This is the first of what could be 3 games here in Utica. The Comets need to win 1 to assure Game 5 on Saturday night here at the Aud. Each of the first 2 games have been decided in overtime, and now dating back to last season, 5 straight Calder Cup Finals games have been decided in overtime. The Texas Stars dramatically beat the St. John's Ice Caps in games 3, 4, and 5 last season, all in St. John's, to win the Calder Cup for the Texas Stars. Sanguinetti will feed it back, and the Comets, with 30 seconds left on the power play, start the charge again. It is Corrado to the right side for O'Reilly. O'Reilly lost it at center. It's punched right back down the ice by Derek Forbort, and now Conacher has to try and get it away, but can't. Crescenzi backhanded it into the crease. Markstrom will quickly play it to keep the puck moving. Power play with 15 seconds on it. Comets can't get the long-range pass. It rolls into Berube. Taken behind the net, rimmed around the boards. Grenier couldn't stop it. It'll travel all the way back into the Comet zone. 5 seconds to go on the power play as Clendening will pick it up behind Markstrom. Penalty is over to Miller. 5-on-5 again. We're still scoreless. 14:20 to go. Here's Zaleski powering right down the middle. Converged to unpuck, pop free. O'Reilly knocks it down. Shoots, scores! The Comets finally strike first. Cal O'Reilly gives Utica the 1-0 lead here in Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals. The first goal of the playoffs for the Comets captain. During the playoffs, he leads the Comets in points with 16. But what a time for the first goal for the Utica Comets captain, Cal O'Reilly. Here on home ice as Brandon DeFazio and Michael Mersch go nose to nose here before the puck is even dropped following the goal.
Oh, his first of the playoffs, scored by number 16, Cal O'Reilly. Assist to number 14, Mike Zaleski, and number 44, Adam Clendening. Goal at 5:45.
So the Comets are on the board first. They have a lead. It is their first of the series. And it comes in the opening minutes of the first game here at the Aud as Will Acton knocks down a pass away from Jordan Wheel. And the Comets playing with a little extra jump in their step here as the Monarchs send this one all the way down. It is Biega behind the net and give it on for Corrado. Off Shinkarik's stick to center ice. One-handed on for DeFazio. DeFazio cuts back. Drops off for Sanguinetti. Right circle. Sanguinetti shot produced a big rebound, but the Monarchs all over it. Floated back out to center by Kevin Gravel. Far boards, it is Sanguinetti. He'll go off the glass and bounce it in. First one to it, Sven Berchi. Shoulders, but can't get the puck back, and this one lifted off the glass and out to center ice. Sanguinetti back to Anderson, and then back to Sanguinetti again. It'll be dumped down, no icing here. Rain run off the puck by Friesen, picked up by Conacher, tried to steer it off the glass to Clendening, he did. A bouncing puck is shot, it slipped through the skates of Derek Forbort, and then right in front of the Manchester net, 2 whacks at it for Berchi, and the save's made by Berube. Bad turnover by the Monarchs right in front after the first poke got on net, and then the rebound as well. Puck fired wide by Clendening as Friesen collides with O'Brien. This will be icing against Manchester, and the crowd will let him hear it. $3,835. That's a sellout here at the Utica Memorial Auditorium for the 11th straight playoff game. They have already sold out games 4 and 5 in anticipation. Comets can't get the face-off, though. Corrado jumps on it at center, but can't force it in deep. The Monarchs can, and it's back behind the net. But with speed, this is Alex Biega working on the Monarchs, who are caught flat-footed at center. Left side for Jensen. Down the wall, Jensen from a tough angle, shouldered wide. And Berube's hurt. Berube rolling around on the ice. Jean-Francois Berube, trying to make that save on Jensen, is down in a lot of pain and clutching the right side of his body. And now he looks like he's grabbing the back of his right leg. It is all the more interesting if Jean-Francois Berube cannot continue in this game. Their normal backup, Patrick Bartosak, is injured as well. But he just came back for today's game. He did not dress in games 1 or 2. And they were unsure if he'd be able to dress tonight, so they went out inside ECHL goaltender Jeff Lurd. But Patrick Bartosak is on the bench for the Manchester Monarchs and would be the backup goalie. Berube cannot get back to his feet. He is now helped back up, and it looks like he may be done. We'll step aside. 12:09 to go here in the first period. Comets with a 1-0 lead. This is Comets Hockey on 94.9 K-Rock. The Manchester Monarchs are playing in their 17th game of the 2015 Calder Cup playoffs. And in those 17 games, Jean-Francois Berube has played every minute, every second for the Manchester Monarchs until right now. He is out of the game with an injury. Patrick Bartosak will come in and replace him. A rookie from Red Deer will see his first AHL playoff action here in Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals, with Utica leading 1-0, 12 minutes on the clock here in the first period at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. Here is Zaleski leaving on for Wacey Hamilton. Drop pass, Gauntz, wrist shot right on to test Bartosak, and he makes the save. Near sideboards, Hamilton coming in, knocks it free. Zaleski tried to dance in front, poke checked away by Vincent Laverty. Far side boards, Laverty trying to get away. Zaleski tracked him down, ran him off against the boards. There was Gauntz and Zaleski. Gauntz gets loose behind the net, tries to step in front, risks a shot into some traffic, and it bounced just wide off the body of Zaleski. Picked up and played by Andrew Bednarchuk as Gauntz and Zaleski with a great shift there and a nice hit by Wacey Hamilton to finish it off. Here's Gauntz the other way from center ice. He'll dump it down. Shots are 11-2 right now for the Utica Comets, a team that has been outshot in each of the first 2 games. Here's Shinkarik down the right wing. One hands it behind the net as the Comets looking to test a cold goaltender, but they can't get the puck from Manchester's Justin Auger. He'll float it in, send Michael Murch after it. Sanguinetti angles him off along the boards. Picked up by Shinkarik. Comets looking to get out, and they flip this one back into the Manchester zone. Send DeFazio after it for the Monarchs to pull away from. Here's O'Reilly at center. O'Reilly can't find a way in. He'll back off, And the Comets will reset things here with 10:38 to go in the first period. Utica with a 1-0 lead over Manchester. Villegas pass finds Grenier into the zone down the wall for Jensen. Jensen from a tough angle. Why not put it into the crease? And the pad saved by Bartosak. Put a rebound into the slot, but it's knocked away. Paul Bissonnette trying to bring it in. Got it over for Backman. Backman has it taken off his stick by a poke check from Alex Biega. Derek Forbort holds the zone, but gave it right to Corrado. Corrado's clear. Hit Grenier, and then O'Reilly trying to work it down the wall with one hand. He'll smack it past Derek Forbort. Approaching the halfway point of this first period. Conacher with a hit along the wall, takes the puck away from Backman. And now this is Huskins to Clendening. Across the ice, Friesen shimmies his way in. His drop pass couldn't find Corey Conacher. Comets dump it in though. They touch up on the delayed offsides and send Friesen in. Puck on the far boards, and now back behind the net for Laverty. Laverty, the right wing, touched out to center ice. Huskins is there. They'll put it right back down the wall. Bartosak stops it back there. Near side, Benarchuk. This one off the glass. And Adrian Kempe can't get out. Benarchuk back to Kempe. And then his pass finds its way to Zach O'Brien. Left side, Kempe with speed, working on Sanguinetti. Kempe to the outside. Run off well by Sanguinetti. But in the process, took the stick out of the hands of Markstrom, but the Comets get the puck up ice. Sanguinetti's in right side. To the outside with a wrist shot that floats wide. All the way around the boards, and Anderson will punch it in. Back down behind the net. Taken by Gravel. Hamilton to it with Shore. Far boards it is Zaleski. Zaleski drops off, but it rolled off the stick of Hamilton and back out to neutral ice where Biega and Corrado are playing catch with it here. 8 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Zaleski back in. Boy, this line has been good as Corrado smacks it down the boards. Coming to get it is Wasey Hamilton. Touched on from Gaunce to Hamilton with a shot on goal. Bartosak the save, and now punches being thrown in front of the net as the Comets came close to the only goaltender the Monarchs have left. And Manchester reacting accordingly. Two Monarch players continuing this altercation, chasing down Mike Zaleski along the end wall. And we may have penalties coming here. 8:38 to go in the first. Utica 1, Manchester 0. Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals on 94.9 K-Rock. Comets lead for the first time in the series, 1-0 over the Manchester Monarchs as David Vandergulik handles the puck deep inside the Utica end. 8.5 minutes to go. There were no penalties after that latest scrum as Grenier leads the way out of the Utica zone and up across the Manchester line. Quick drop for Clendening and punch down for Grenier as he shoved off along the wall. It's played to O'Reilly behind his back, drops it off to Corrado, moving in with a shot that went wide. Off the boards, O'Reilly there again. Down for Grenier. Grenier on the half wall. Behind the net for Jensen. Jensen to the line, and Corrado couldn't reach it. This one will travel all the way back into the Comet zone. Fed ahead by Markstrom, and then pushed back by Jensen to Corrado. Corrado mishandles. Quickly on it is Backman. Sean Backman will punch one out to the blue line, and a shot came through wide at the net from Laverty. Around the boards, Benarchuk winds and fires. Will Acton down on a knee, wears that one, and it bounces out to center ice. Played on now for Backman. In on the right side, shot one over the head of Markstrom. And now the Comets have a break-up ice, 2-on-1. Shinkarik has DeFazio. Couldn't get it across to him as it was cut off by Benarchuk. Monarchs want to clear. Shinkarik stopped it from happening. Laverty winds up in the corner. DeFazio finishes the check on the Monarchs captain. Near side, Benarchuk. Right side, too far for Crescenzi. Anderson will get it deep for Utica. Touching up on the delayed offsides, Utica will get a change. Gone, Zaleski and Hamilton. They've earned another shift here. 7 minutes remaining in the first period. Comets with a 1-0 lead on a Cal O'Reilly goal. Passed across from Mersch. Mersch ahead, and it's Zaleski now. Taken from him by Miller. Back down near side. This one will roll all the way in on net. Markstrom will stop it in his crease and push it off to the near boards. Sanguinetti on for Hamilton. Off the glass and out of the zone. Gravel stopping in his own zone, then brought back in. A big hit by Wasey. Hamilton knocks down Nick Shore. He gets back up as the Monarchs come to center. Right side shot blocked by Anderson. Utica couldn't clear here. Then this shot on goal. Batted out of the air by Mersch, but he couldn't get it on target. Glendening ahead for Friesen. One-on-one. Friesen on Miller. Tried to go between his legs, and Miller got the skates on it. Conacher steals it away on the clearing effort and then passed in front. Friesen battling for it with Miller and grabbed by Kempe. He gives it up to Berchi. Corrado to Conacher. Back in with speed. Conacher drops. Berchi handles. Circle. Waits and shoots. That one blocked. Came in on goal, and Bartosak covers the rolling puck. And then Corrado gets his helmet ripped off by Auger from behind. And a break in the action hasn't quite happened yet. Few more punches being thrown. We've seen penalties called early, but the extra stuff after the whistle has continued between the Comets and the Monarchs. 6:04 remaining here in the first period. Comets with a 1-0 lead, and the story so far of the hockey game is Jean-Francois Berube leaving with an injury after playing just 7 minutes and 51 seconds tonight. Backup goaltender Patrick Bartosak is in net for Manchester. Fans visit AHLstore.com today to buy officially licensed Calder Cup merchandise and latest in AHL gear. Head there now and save 10% on all orders when you type in the promo code FINALS. AHLstore.com is your best source for terrific AHL team and league merchandise. Terry Koharski is over speaking to both benches, actually one referee speaking to each bench. Koharski and Travis Green, Tom Chmielewski having the chat with Mike Stothers. Faceoff is inside the Manchester zone, and still Travis Green and Koharski having a long chat. I'm assuming this is both referees saying to both head coaches, everything after the whistle now, we're going to start calling. This has to stop. Meanwhile, Wasey, Hamilton, and Paul Bissonnette are jawing from bench to bench here at the Odd. Face-off inside the Manchester zone. Comets out shooting the Monarchs 14-4. But it's Justin Auger bringing it up ice for the Monarchs, dumping it in off the stick of Biega. Markstrom came out of his goal to steer it to the boards, but Justin Auger is there. Auger working on Biega. His helmet came off as Biega threw the hit. Picked up by Berchi. Berchi slides it on towards Conacher, but it's knocked away. Comets have to get a fresh D-man out in Sanguinetti as Biega had lost his helmet. So by league rule, he now has to leave the ice immediately as the Monarchs able to collect the puck and give it to Dowd. Dowd working in on Sanguinetti, throws it across the ice to Vandergool. Settled down off the boards. Vandergool down deep where the Monarchs haven't been very often here tonight. Grenier off ice, didn't reach O'Reilly, poked away from Jensen. Sanguinetti has it again, 5:20 on the clock. Grenier left side and lost it, but it came right to Anderson, back across in front of the benches for Sanguinetti, charging down the wall, trying to push it in, can't get it very deep, and then pulled back out to center. They say Jensen touched it offsides. With 5:10 to go here in the first period, Comets lead 1-0 on Cal O'Reilly's goal. Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals on 94.9 K-Rock. Utica Comets Calder Cup broadcast on K-Rock is brought to you in part by Riverside Diner, Oneida Healthcare, Lennon's WB Wilcox Jewelers, Herb Phillipson's Beer Here, and the United Way. We're back inside the Utica Memorial Auditorium. Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals between the Utica Comets and Manchester Monarchs, the Vancouver Canucks and LA Kings AHL affiliates, and the Comets have a 1-0 lead over Manchester with 5:10 to go in our opening period. Shots are 14-4 in favor of the Comets. Out of the game is starting goaltender J.F. Berube for the Monarchs, who was injured trying to make a save, and he successfully did on Nicholas Jensen's shot. He leaves after seeing 9 shots in 7 minutes and 51 seconds. Into the game, Patrick Bartosak, who has not played a minute in these playoffs until right now. And Bartosak played in 28 games, won 13-8-5 during the regular season, and put up great numbers on what is the best team in the AHL statistically, so not that hard to figure out. Here is Vandergulik for Manchester. Passed right back into the zone off sides as Vandergulik's pass came into the skates of Gaunce and ricocheted to Zaleski, who had yet to clear the zone. Bartosak is listed at 6'1", 193 pounds. He had a 2.14 goals against average and a .919 save percent. And again, he was injured and did not participate even as a backup in games 1 or 2. There are 4 goalies being carried right now by the Manchester Monarchs. Steve Mastelers out of UMass Amherst was signed and was the backup goaltender for games 1 and 2 as Corey Conacher comes in down the right wing and takes a shoulder from Forboard. Forboard takes the puck, trying to get out of the zone with it though, gave it up to Friesen, and Conacher will take back over. Poked away from Backman and then chopped wide of the net by Baertschi. Friesen comes over with a shoulder on Forboard, can't come up with the puck. Baertschi steals it behind the net, quick centering pass deflected away from Conacher. Hoskins holds it in to Baertschi on the half wall. Baertschi draws a few defenders to him, then dishes off towards Conacher. And Friesen digging forward, it comes to Baertschi. Baertschi cuts back, looking for a shot, can't take it. Cuts back along the boards this time. Now his shot contested and deflected out of play with 4:10 on the clock. But not knowing the health, at least in any sort of degree of certainty, for goaltender Patrick Bartosak, the Manchester Monarchs went out and signed yesterday goaltender Jeff Lurg, who had been playing in the ECHL with the Toledo Walleye. The Toledo Walleye eliminated in the 7th game of the Eastern Conference Finals just a week ago. May 27th was Game 7, so he was relatively active until just recently. It becomes tough to find players if you need them, as a shot off the outside of the net is covered up by Bartosak as DeFazio put it along the ice in on goal. But think about it, when you come to this point in the season, if you need a player from a team, from a player not already on your roster, where are you going to get them from? The ECHL's down to the final 2 teams as well. South Carolina and Allen are playing in the Calder Cup, or excuse me, the Kelly Cup Finals. Game 5 is tonight. Everybody else is home, so to get a guy in shape and ready to go is hard to find at this point in the season. But they didn't have to use him. They dressed Bartosak, and now he is their goaltender. As a shot comes in, it's off the pads of Markstrom and then wide of the net again on a drive that skips off the boards and winds up in the netting above the glass. It'll be interesting to see, and of course maybe Bartosak's appearance here tonight will determine the rest. But, and trust me, I'm not a doctor. I don't like to speculate. But the way that J.F. Berube left the ice, which was a non-contact injury. He didn't get hit by anybody. He didn't run into anything. He made a movement and dropped to the ice, clutching his right leg, and did not put any pressure on it on his way off the ice. Had to be helped by a teammate on each arm. That's not normally a one-day recovery time. Here's Grenier, 3-on-3 up the ice with Utica. Working in, Grenier had it poke checked away, and now the Monarchs trying to come back and turn the heat up, but quickly Jensen was all over O'Brien, and the Comets dump it down. Colin Miller, first one to it, 3.5 minutes to go. Taken by Gravel, steered around the boards. Right side, Sanguinetti snaps a shot, in on goal, Bartosak the save. Rebound was pushed to the side, and now up off the glass, Sanguinetti comes in. Able to hold the line for a moment. Jensen couldn't back him up quickly enough, and it's back out to center, but Anderson tried to crank it in from long range. It's not a bad idea on a goalie that has seen fewer shots since coming into the game than the starting goaltender saw in the first 8 minutes. Here's Anderson. Threw it out of the reach of Clendenning. It comes to Backman with a snapshot that's tipped wide of the net, picked up by Anderson. Anderson can't get it away from down behind the goal. Second effort, Clendenning's involved, all behind the net. Bissonnette digging for it as well. And this one poked on for Clendenning. Zaleski off the glass, couldn't get it out. Wasey Hamilton followed it up, he couldn't as well. It's Backman across the ice for Bissonnette. Drags and shoots this off the skates of Clendenning and over the glass for another whistle with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in period number 1. Comets with a 1-0 lead on Cal O'Reilly's goal back at 5:45 here in the first period. Mohawk Valley Honda is the official Honda dealer of the Comets broadcast here on KROC. Browse their exclusive inventory online at MohawkHonda.com. Jacob Markstrom has played every game in this playoff for Utica, this being his 21st, but he has been replaced for one period by Joachim Eriksson, following his team trailing 4-0 in a game here at the Odd against the Grand Rapids Griffins in the Western Conference Finals. And he has been the key figure in this Comets championship caliber run. Dumped in by Biega. And to go get it forward for Manchester. Hit delivered by Shinkarik, and the puck coming his direction as well. Steered away by Derek Forbort. And as Forbort tried to go in the air out to center, he hit Jordan Wheel. It's turned over. Will Acton cuts back. Forced to the front. Reaching for it, DeFazio protecting to the boards. Sliding behind the net. Shinkarik was open back there but couldn't settle it down. Corrado will pinch in. Put it behind the net. Acton, quick center, shot wide by DeFazio. DeFazio wins the race to the puck to Biega at the line. Biega delays, sends it all the way around the boards. Acton wrestling there with Forbort. Puck came by the pair of them. And now it is Zach O'Brien to Jordan Wheel. Corrado pressured him. Biega has to back up and grab this one back at center ice. His option through the middle is Corey Conacher. Conacher sliding in on the right wing boards. Tries to chip it down, gets upended. Berchi comes to grab the puck. He works it on for Alex Friesen. Friesen stops, he gets handcuffed there by Laverty. Berchi comes to grab the puck. He's knocked down by Wheel. Berchi back to his feet. Those two continue to jockey for it. Berchi pulls it away to Conacher. Blue line Clendenning. Working it over. Here's a chance for Huskins from the outside. He'll float it behind. And there's a wrestling match between Wheel and Berchi that continues with both of them on the ice right in front of Terry Koharski, the referee. But as play carries on, it's Justin Auger dancing his way into the Comet zone and then chopped off his stick by Huskins and winds up in the Utica bench with 69 seconds remaining on what has been the most controlled period of play for Utica so far in this 3-game Calder Cup Finals. Comets never led in games 1 or 2. They rarely trailed, but they never led. This series had been tied for the first basically 95% of the first 2 games. The lead for Utica in this first period has already elapsed the longest lead of the series and any lead that Manchester has held, even if you combine them all. Here's Grenier pulling into the zone. Grenier to the outside, scores! What an incredible individual effort for Alex Grenier. And with only 1:02 to go in the first period, Utica has a 2-0 lead. He just beat everybody to the puck, got himself into the circle, and wristed one through the arm of Patrick Bartasek. Comets 2, Monarchs 0. The first 2-goal lead of the series for either team.
His 6th of the playoffs, scored by number 28, Alexander Grenier. Assist to number 6, Bobby Sanguinetti, and number 16, Cal O'Reilly. Goal at 18:58.
53 seconds to go in the period. Puck dumped in on Markstrom and played away by Frank Corrado. That was just a great play by Grenier. Puck behind the Utica net. Near side boards, Michael Mersch tracks it down for Manchester. 37 seconds to go. Near side, Mersch with a drive, and Markstrom the glove save. Mersch let it go from along the boards in the left circle, and that one had net written all over it, but the glove hand of Markstrom said no. And then Nick Dowd being wrestled away from the front of Jacob Markstrom with 32.8 seconds to play. Swifty's the official restaurant and pub, and Labatt is the official beer of the Utica Comets live broadcast here on K-Rock. I'm Brennan Burke live from the Utica Memorial Auditorium. This is Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals. Comets trail the series 2 games to none. They lead this hockey game 2-0 though. Cal O'Reilly and Alex Grenier have the goals. A defensive zone faceoff though for Will Acton and the Comets. With a half a minute to go in the period. Off the draw, Sanguinetti trying to clear. Wrist shot, tip, save made, rebound, they score! The backhand goal from Adrian Kempe makes it a 2-1 game with 24.9 to go in the first period. And that is a big goal for Manchester, who have had very little going for them here in this period. They get the 5th of the playoffs from the 19-year-old Swede. Comets got the face-off, but couldn't get it out of the zone. Cal O'Reilly not happy with a number of things on that play. Brandon DeFazio was trying to get to the point and was knocked down on his way, and that helped out the Manchester Monarchs get to that loose puck. 15 seconds to go in the period. And the Utica Comets' Alex Grenier puts it into the zone with 10 seconds left. It's thrown back out to center ice. Working in Vandergool like a blast, and that one tipped away from the net by Anderson. 3 seconds, Sanguinetti to come get it with 1. He'll pin it against the boards. And all in all, a very good period for the Utica Comets with one last-minute flip. A rebound goal for Adrian Kempe. Other than that, the period controlled by the Utica Comets on the scoreboard and physically. And the Manchester Monarchs are down their starting goaltender, J.F. Berube, left with an injury less than 8 minutes into this hockey game. 1 goal he allowed, 1 goal the backup Patrick Bartosak allowed, and the Utica Comets have a 2-1 lead after the first period of play. Comets lead 2-1 at the start of the second period, Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals here at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. Utica with goals from Cal O'Reilly and Alex Grenier. Monarchs got one on the board late in period number 1, courtesy of Adrian Kempe. Into the zone offensively is Wasey Hamilton for Utica. Working on Bodnerchuk, it's taken from him by Mike Zaleski. Zaleski couldn't handle it. Brendan Gauntz handcuffs Kempe as it bounces back out to center. Biega right back in for Hamilton, kicks it to his stick, looking to the outside, throw it to the front, it's off a body and laid loose momentarily in the slot, and then pushed up ice by Nick Shore. Shore across for Backman. Backman cuts into the zone but offsides, and then Hamilton and Backman get tied up. Nick Shore comes over, and now a crowd gathering along the boards. Referees have had their hands full, more so the linesmen than the referees. There have been no calls following any of these scrums after the whistles. We've had 2 penalties in the game, 1 aside, both early in the first period, and both were on calls that took place during normal play. Face-off will take place just outside the Utica Comets zone. Will Acton ties up, gets it free, but as it rolls onto the stick of Kevin Gravel, the Monarchs are in control of it. O'Brien turned it over. Shinkarik's hit, can't keep it away from O'Brien, regaining it, thrown on net, and Markstrom will push it to the boards. Michael Murch is there, centers for Wheel, it's knocked away. Wheel fanned on it, here's Zaleski back up ice. Right side, Shinkarik, in across the line, fanned on a pass, and DeFazio wins a battle with Wheel to get it deep behind the net. Shinkarik tackled down to the ice, played the puck on Acton from an angle on net, gloved away, and held onto by Jean-Francois Berube. And if the early shifts are any indication, it is Zach O'Brien playing with Michael Murch and Jordan Wheel. That is normally the spot we see the AHL MVP, Brian O'Neill, who didn't play much of that first period after taking a hit from Alex Friesen. One of 2 key players for Manchester that went down In the early stages of our opening frame, of course, Jean-Francois Berube, the goaltender, is out of the hockey game. Utica is missing one as well now, as Hunter Shinkarik just left the ice with Comets athletic trainer Dustin Flynn. He took a good hit behind the net, finished the shift, but is now off the ice for the Utica Comets, just 1 minute and 10 seconds into the period. Off the draw, it is Manchester's Miller. Ahead, threw it off the skates of Zaleski, and it bounces right back into the Manchester zone. Wheel to collect it. Around, and Hamilton's hit. Can't get the puck back. Mersch will lift it out of the zone. Wheel coming after it. Floats it over for O'Brien. O'Brien from an angle, danced around Zaleski, put it in, save made. Rebound, backhanded wide. Then again punched out of the net by a diving Markstrom. O'Brien into the corner as things start to calm down just a little bit. To the right point. It's taken by Forbert and blocked away from the front of the net by Peter Anderson and clears the zone. Boy, a couple of close calls there for Utica. Markstrom made the last save as this one dumped in by Zaleski. Zaleski was the only one back. As a forward filling in on D, he got walked. Pretty good scoring chance there was the result for Manchester. Clendening around the boards for Huskins, and then it's Friesen. Stretch pass for Conacher goes too far. Would have been icing, but Conacher wins the race to the puck. Conacher trying to shake Rain. Got it for Friesen, and backhanded around the boards. It is Clendening. Clendening right back around the boards, and Corey Conacher after it. Popped high in the air. It'll stay in play. Bouncing puck is settled by Nick Shore. He played more games in the National Hockey League this season than anyone else on the Manchester Monarchs roster. He played 34 of them with the LA Kings. This will be icing against Manchester as the puck bounced dangerously in front of the Utica goal, but no one around it to play it for Manchester, so the Comets let it roll. Whistle comes with 17:23 to go. Here in the second period, Comets with a 2-1 lead. Carbo and Aller Group, proud sponsor of the Utica Comets, wishes them luck in the Calder Cup Finals against the Manchester Monarchs. Cal O'Reilly will take the draw for Utica between Grenier and Nicholas Jensen. Off the draw, it's pushed back, and it's Rain behind the goal for Derek Forbort. Forbort will send it down the ice again, out of the reach of Paul Bissonnette, and back-to-back icings here against Manchester. We'll see if the Comets can do anything with that. The defense is certainly in need of a change, more so than the line of Shore, Bissonnette, and Crescenzi. But the guys who are laboring on the ice right now a little bit are Rain and Miller. Excuse me, Rain and Forbort are out there. And it is Forbort behind the net for Manchester. Swung around the boards, Bissonnette. Put it back to Rain. Rain gets it out to center. Long change here in the second period, so the Comets still keep the pressure on. Manchester can't get those D off the ice. They sneak Bissonnette off as the puck rolls in on goal, and it's covered up by Bartosak. 16:57 remaining here in the second period. Comets have a 2-1 lead. There's been no goals here so far in the second. Comets got goals in the first from Cal O'Reilly at 5:44, Alex Grenier at 18:58. First of the playoffs for O'Reilly, sixth of the playoffs for Alex Grenier. Alex Friesen will take the face-off for the Utica Comets. Wins it back. Corrado's shot blocked by two Monarchs who converged on him. And it is Vandergoed upended, trying to settle down the puck. Conacher steals it away. He's got Berchi headed to the goal. Conacher drags and shoots. Got it back again. On goal. Another rebound chance. Denied by Bartosak. Kept alive for Berchi. Berchi tries to get out from behind the goal. Feeds the right point. Biega's quick shot. Knocked high in the air and a land in the corner. Friesen wrestling there with Laverty. It came to Berchi and back to Friesen. Friesen steps out of some traffic. Looking to the front of the net. Goes to the blue line. Biega pumps and slides it. Corrado quick shot. Wide of the goal. Friesen powering to the front. Turns and shoots. Bartosak the save, and he covers. Another flurry of chances for Utica, started by Corey Conacher stealing a puck at center ice. Berchi with a chance, and Friesen with the last of the opportunities. A few more shots picked up there by the Comets against goaltender Patrick Bartosak. Comets have last change here at home for the first time in this series, which is obviously an advantage, maybe more so for Utica against Manchester than it was for Manchester against Utica. Comets have four lines that can play in every situation. Manchester has that top-heavy line where if Utica can get them defensively matched up well and try and nullify that, it can go a long way. But also knocking Brian O'Neill out of the game, potentially in that first period, helps with the matchup problems as well for Utica. The AHL MVP hasn't been seen since a hit he took from Alex Friesen in the early stages of the first, as Jensen and Kempe come together. Pushed up the boards, Kempe to Miller. Miller's shot blocked by O'Reilly out of the zone. Dumped right back in, though, by Kevin Gravel. Back of the net, stopped by Markstrom. Given away by Clendenning. Shore with a shot. Defended by Grenier. Comets clear it. It'll be icing unless it rolls. And as it rolls, it won't be icing. It's slowed up just shy of the crease and picked up by Miller. Headman for Michael Mersch. To the right side for Wheel. Wheel into the zone. Poke checked on for Mersch. Mersch behind the net, trying to settle a rolling puck. Looking in front, bouncing around, and Markstrom covers the rolling shot from Sean Backman. 15:28 to go here in the second period. The Manchester Monarchs top line, which when healthy, consists of Jordan Wheel, Brian O'Neill, and Michael Mersch. That line together has been everything for Manchester. 58% of their offense in the playoffs, 33 of their 57 goals. But game two, the Comets found a way to shut them down. It was just the fourth time in the playoffs that those three players have been held without a point. Wheel and Mersch are tied for the AHL's lead in points. As a long battle for a face-off between Acton and Wheel winds up with the puck against the boards. Acton and Mersch now digging for it there. Zaleski getting involved, and then Sanguinetti coming over. Followed up by Acton. Play to the line. Forward keeps it in with the skates. His wrist shot tipped out of play by O'Brien. And this is Mike Zaleski getting a shift on this line in place of Hunter Shinkarik. As we have too many people that we're keeping track of who are not available for their respective teams at this current moment. Comets are missing Jake Virtanen tonight, out with an illness, but they did get Wasey Hamilton back in. Hamilton missed game two with an upper body injury. And Wasey Hamilton can't win this face-off. Michael Mersch leaves it at the line for Rain with a shot that went wide, and Markstrom will push it to the boards. Back behind the net, Mersch tries to drag it in front. Shut off there by Corrado. Mersch behind his back for Wheel. Wheel working the cycle. One hands it to the front, lost it. Here's O'Brien moving in, got Markstrom out of the net. Wraparound try. Markstrom dives back across the goal line and makes the save. Markstrom came all the way out of his net, and Wheel made the quick move back behind. And Markstrom had to scramble, had to dive, but got there before Wheel could tuck it in. 14:46 remaining here in the second period. Comets with a 2-1 lead. And a little help from Alex Biega there. Stopped the stick. It was actually O'Brien, my mistake on the wraparound attempt. And the Comets have been a little bit on their heels here in the second period. Manchester has certainly had the better start in just 5 minutes and 14 seconds of gameplay. Off the draw, O'Reilly wins it back, and it is Clendenning. Ahead for Grenier. He kicks it into the zone. No icing here. Grenier charging hard after Laverty. Laverty lost the puck. It's loose back there. Comes around the boards. Huskins slides to Grenier. Grenier in the backhand, twisting away from Shore. One hand on his stick, trying to power his way down low. Got it to Jensen. Steps in front. Jensen turning. Can't jam it on goal, and a diving Bartosak will cover. Nice powerful move by Nicholas Jensen coming out from behind the net. But as he went to take that shot from just outside the crease, he was stick checked, and as it rolled on him just a little bit, Bartosak was able to dive out and cover. Shots are 21-12 in favor of Utica. Comets won 47 games during the regular season. 103 points. The only team with more wins than more points was the Manchester Monarchs. They had 50 and 109. First time since 2000 the top two teams in the league have met in the Calder Cup Finals. Manchester working it in. Centering pass gobbled up by Friesen. Played away for Corey Conacher. The speedy Conacher in across the line. His pass to Friesen. Rolling between the skates of Miller. Friesen gets it away. Friesen, blue line. Anderson, quick shot block, came back to him. Anderson again. This one fluttering in front. Here's Berchi getting along but couldn't pull the trigger. Berchi into the circle. Looking, leaving. Anderson snapped it on goal and a save by Bartosak. Picked up by Friesen. Shoved from behind, stays on his feet, controls it. Anderson, a blast and a glove save from Bartosak. That one was leaning away from him. And a long stretch makes the glove stop. 13:46 to go in the second. Comets 2, Monarchs 1. This is Comets Hockey on 94.9 K-Rock. Was scratched for games 5 and 6 in the conference finals. He was scratched for game 1 here in the Calder Cup finals. But he has a goal in games 2 and 3. And the Comets have their 2-goal lead back as Manchester guilty of icing. Friesen, Berchi, and Conacher try and continue the offensive pressure for Utica. False draw, we'll do it again. Sanguinetti and Anderson on the blue line, but the Monarchs win the draw. Here's Backman off the glass and out to center. And Sanguinetti collecting it here to Anderson. On to Conacher, got a piece, there is no icing. Bartosak will leave it behind the net. Laverty's pass deflected away. Friesen went on, save made. Conacher on the rebound. Tracks it down, turns and fires. Blocked in front by Laverty and skated away from danger by Nick Shore, but not out of the zone. Berchi knocks it around Bondarchuk. Coming in down the wing. Berchi shouldering his way to the front. Gives to Conacher to the line. Biega on the backhand. Switch to the forehand. Glove down. Conacher got hit up high and lost his stick. Heads back to the bench. Meanwhile, a hit delivered by Friesen on Backman. In is Kempe. Kempe's in. Goes to the front. Save made. They poke it in. Sean Backman has made it 3-2 Manchester, as this time it's been the Monarchs answering the Comets goals. Such strong play for Utica on one end, but twice they have had lapses, allowing rushes down the ice, and Manchester has capitalized. They've got 2 goals on 13 shots, and this one may be Kempe again. May have rolled right through the arms of Jacob Markstrom, and it would be Kempe's second of the game. They're actually crediting the goal for Utica to Cal O'Reilly instead of Nicholas Jensen. Jensen, who took the shot, is going to get an assist, as well as Alex Grenier. As we are at 3-2 with 12.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Will Acton. Outlets on, and it is Brandon DeFazio. He'll flip this one up. Acton after it. It's knocked away. Center ice, Sanguinetti plays to Peter Anderson. And as Anderson finds the red line, he'll rim it around the boards. It is DeFazio. Back of the net. Near side boards. Huskins winding, shooting, in on goal, and a save made without a rebound from Bartosak. 12:04 to go. Second period, it is Adrian Kempe with his second goal of the game, his 6th of the playoffs. He only played 3 games during the regular season for Manchester. He played 50 games for Modo in Sweden at just 19 years of age. Came to Manchester on April 14th. And another guy who has been integral in their playoff run, despite not playing a lot of minutes during the regular season for him. Huskins behind the net for Wasey Hamilton. Hamilton working offensively. He hands off to Mike Zaleski. Zaleski turns and lost an edge, went down with Laverty chasing him. Puck bouncing around the goal line, taken by Forbort. Pinching in his Huskins. He'll poke it right back behind the net. Laverty trying to get away from Berchi. Passed on for Vandergulik, and his pass is ahead for Auger. Auger on Huskins. Auger to the outside. Risks a shot. Huskins deflects it out of play. The reliable Ken Huskins, who has a Stanley Cup to his credit, but not a Calder Cup. He was part of the 2007 Anaheim Ducks championship team. And now at 36 years of age, and a veteran of over 300 games in the National Hockey League. This is as far as he has come in the AHL's Calder Cup playoffs. He lost in overtime in Game 7 to Hershey in 2006 with Portland in the Eastern Conference Finals. Was a win away from getting here, but never actually did. He's off the ice now. Biega Corrado on defensively for Utica as the Comets clear the zone. Utica with a 3-2 lead. 11.5 minutes remaining in period 2. Puck stolen by Cal O'Reilly. Followed up, though, and flipped out of the zone by Paul Bissonnette for Manchester. Into the skates of O'Reilly at center ice. O'Reilly back in. Lost it on a poke check, and then as he touched it again, offsides was called. The Comets captain is credited with both the first goal and the third goal for Utica, with Alex Grenier scoring in between. It has been that long. Grenier, O'Reilly, and Jensen and have been involved in all 3 goals for Utica. Comets still more than doubling up the Monarchs in shots, 27-13. As Corrado pushed it slowly into the Manchester zone. And the Monarchs' Rain fumbled with it too long. DeFazio showed him the ice and then digs for the puck, which was under his body. Held in by Corrado. Behind the net, Brendan Gaunce. Puck didn't come to him. Instead, Derek Forbort cut it off. And on the near side, it's floated back into the Comet zone and taken by Biega. Near side boards, Biega can't get his stick away from Wheel. Play carries on. O'Brien's pass to the blue line comes in a shot that's blocked in front. Corrado and Mersch were tangled there. Puck kept in by Wheel, stapled to the glass by Biega. Acton will get the puck, slide it on for Gaunce, and Gaunce will get it deep. After it is DeFazio, gets there with Bodnarchuk. Can't pull it away from him, and now brought back ahead, Derek Forbort. From center ice, bumps into Friesen, and Bobby Sanguinetti will grab it for Utica. Near side, Anderson, ahead for Friesen. Friesen up across the line, leaving for Conacher. Cuts back, wrist shot, saved by Bartosak. Played around the boards. It is Nick Shore for Manchester, starting the rush. And this one off the skates and taken back by Conacher. Conacher looking ahead, goes to Anderson, who fell down. Gave the puck up at center. Conacher all over it, steals it back. Can't jump around Bodnarchuk, who takes it back the other way. Bodnarchuk dumps it down. And then it is Markstrom out of his goal, around the glass, gloved down by Backman. Hit hard by Anderson. Alex Friesen working on Nick Shore. Short of the blue line, Miller hard around the back of the net. Backman is there. Anderson on him. Cycles now for Kempe. And then Berchi protecting the puck a couple of feet inside the zone, will lift it out and back into the Manchester end. We have played more than half the hockey game, just barely. 9.5 minutes to go in the second. Comets with a 3-2 lead. Clendening throws it around the back of the net. Backman is there offensively for Manchester. Backman cycles. Kempe gave it up far corner, but Friesen can't get there ahead of Kevin Gravel. The point man pinched in. Gravel trying to drive out from behind the goal. Comes to the near side boards. Sets it to the top. Miller winds and shoots. Markstrom a blocker save to a screen. And left down low, it is Auger. Auger canceled out by Huskins. Pressure continues inside the Utica zone. Friesen comes over. Has it pinned against the boards. As it comes free, and then Vandergulik's pass is mishandled. Here's Grenier trying to cut in, knocks down Miller. Miller gave it up to Grenier. Grenier across to Jensen. His shot knocked down. The rebound pushed away from the net. Bartoszak got a glove on it. Didn't field it cleanly. And it was swiped to the corner where the Comets now have it pinned. Jensen, O'Reilly, two Monarchs players. No one really trying to move it all that hard. Down goes Gravel. Puck comes free, and it's Vandergulik. Try to backhand it out of the zone. Shut down by Corrado as he knocked down the airborne puck with the shaft of his stick. Near side boards. Corrado throws a hit. He goes down, as well as Vandergulik. Play continues with Zaleski. Down the wall. Corrado got his helmet ripped off. O'Reilly to the backhand. Bartoszak covers and hangs on with Zaleski looking for the rebound. 3-2 Comets lead, less than 8 minutes remaining in the second period. You're listening to Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals on 94.9 K-Rock. Another back and forth game here in Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals. Brendan Burke from the Utica Memorial Auditorium. Comets with a 3-2 lead. 8 minutes to play in the second over the Manchester Monarchs. Biega's shot sails high over the head of Patrick Bartoszak, kept in by Corrado behind the net for Will Acton. Acton knocked off the puck by Laverty, and it's taken by Michael Murch. Comets had a 2-0 lead. Manchester made it 2-1. Comets took a 3-1 lead. Manchester has drawn back within one as Biega with a good body check down low. Puck loose in front. Smacked on goal. Markstrom a point-blank save on O'Brien. Comets clear to center. DeFazio will walk it in across the line. Drops for Gaunce. Loads the shot. Rips it off the stick of Laverty and out of play. Every time the Comets have pulled away by 2 goals, the Monarchs' response has been quick, much like we saw from Utica in the first 2 games of this series. We saw the Comets respond in Game 1 just a minute and 1 second after falling behind 1-0. After they fell behind 2-1, they tied it up 3-0-1 later. The game was decided 3-2 in overtime. In Game 2, the Monarchs struck first in the last minute of the first period. The Comets answered 1:12 into the second. And the game again decided in overtime by a 2-1 score. The difference in this game is that the Comets scored first, and they also scored second. Utica is 9-3 in the playoffs when scoring the game's first goal. Manchester is 0-3 when allowing the game's first goal, as Crescenzi having an argument with the linesman before this puck drop in the Utica attacking zone. And it is won by Crescenzi, back behind the net, given to Sean Backman on the right side, and Backman will skate. Anderson steps off on him at the line, forced him to dump it in. Friesen will quickly bring it across the ice, get it back from Sanguinetti, and then mishandled at center, pokes it back away. Friesen in on the right side, curls and looks for a pass. He's run down by Rain. Rain was the guy he stripped, and Rain made the recovery. Here's Backman into the zone, canceled out by Anderson, sent ahead, and here is Conacher. With Berchi heading to the goal, they drop it to Friesen. Friesen across, Sanguinetti feathered it on net, and a save made by Bartosak. He was open, but couldn't get a lot on that shot. Right back down low, Berchi across, O'Reilly getting there, curling through the front of the net, can't get the shot off. Gives it to Berchi, steps free in the circle. Berchi slides it on for Conacher. Conacher knocked down, fed it to the line. Broken stick and no helmet. Manchester dealing with issues down low with their defenseman. Centering pass, couldn't hook up with Sanguinetti sneaking in off the bench, and now the Monarchs are ahead. 2-on-2. Kempe shoots one, Markstrom the save, and he grabs that puck before it hits the ice after bouncing off his arm. Well, the Comets missed a glorious opportunity. Manchester had two defensemen on the ice. One of them lost his helmet, had to race immediately out of the zone back to the bench. The other one broke his stick in half, and so there was one defenseman playing without a stick for a few seconds there, and that's when the Comets tried to center that puck, but it was just out of the reach of Sanguinetti. Travis Green has last change, and will send out Wasey Hamilton's line against Dowd, Auger, and Vanderdoorn. Hamilton off the face-off, pulls it back behind the net. Glendening steps away from Auger. His pass at the skates of Vanderdoorn and winds up in the fourth row. Face-off will come outside the zone, though, because it went off the skates of the Manchester Monarchs. AHL fans want to be a part of the Calder Cup Finals? Join the conversation by using hashtag Calder Cup on Twitter. Tweet your photos to us at the AHL for a chance to win an official Calder Cup t-shirt. Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals, the first of potentially 3 games played here at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. The Comets 1 win away from making sure this series is going at least 5. 2 would send it back to Manchester for a Game 6. Monarchs claim both games at home, both in overtime as the puck unfairly drops, and Nick Dowd is asked to leave the circle. Comets are trying to become the 4th team in American Hockey League history to come from behind 2-0 and win the Calder Cup in the best-of-7 series. This is also just the 4th time in AHL history that 2 teams have gone to overtime in the first 2 games of the Calder Cup Finals, the first time since 1998. Here's Auger to the front, poke checked away, second chance, poke checked away, third chance, goes off a glove and covered up by Markstrom. Faceoff will be inside the Utica zone this time. 1998, Philadelphia and St. John actually played 3 straight overtime games. That's the only time that the first 3 games have gone to overtime. The only other 2 occurrences, 1957, Cleveland against Rochester, and 1938, Providence against the Syracuse Stars. By the way, the Syracuse Stars back in 1938 are the only other AHL team to lose the first 2 games of the Calder Cup Finals in overtime. As the other 2 occurrences were splits in the first 2 games. Acton will take the face-off, playing with Hamilton and DeFazio. Comets are missing Hunter Shinkarik. Manchester Monarchs are missing Brian O'Neill and their goaltender J.F. Berube. All 3 with apparent injuries. Manchester's are more obvious. Hunter Shinkarik left after a hit. Skated off under his own power. Here's DeFazio, right side for Acton. Acton backhands it towards the goal and just sent off the pads of Bartosak. DeFazio forced it down low, but the pass across to Jordan Wheel has him backpedaling in his own zone and giving to Colin Miller. Miller, stretch pass ahead, Michael Mersch will walk it in across the line. Mersch slides on for Shore. His backhand defended well by Corrado. Winds up around the boards. Laverty keeps it in. Spun back to the net by Mersch. Wheel knocked down by Corrado. Puck picked up and shot on goal. Markstrom the save. Rebound played away by Jensen. Jensen has O'Reilly out in front, goes to Biega instead. Right side, Grenier, and offsides is called as O'Reilly had his skate knocked out from underneath him and slid into the zone offsides. 5:08 left here in the second. Still the Comets with a 3-2 lead. Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals on 94.9 K-Rock. Utica Comets with a 3-2 lead in Game 3, down 2-0 in this best-of-7 Calder Cup Finals. Shots on goal, 31-19 for Utica, which means the Comets have followed up a 17-shot first period with 14 more here in the second, still 5+ remaining in it. Here's Berchi into the slot, snapping one into the pads of Laverty, the defenseman, before it could get through on goal for Bartasek. The other way, it's Kempe. His shot hugged onto by Jacob Markstrom. Well, the Comets have done a great job over the past 2 games of limiting the opportunities for the all-star line for Manchester, but they have gotten the secondary scoring. It was Nick Dowd and Zach O'Brien scoring in Game 2. And tonight it is Adrian Kempe scoring both goals here for Manchester. Kempe playing with Backman and Wheel right now. And the Comets counter with Hamilton, Zaleski, and Gauntz. Face off far side of the ice inside the Utica end. Markstrom 6'6", but crouched down, expecting a shot that doesn't come. Comets win the draw, but turn it over. Here's Backman looking to center. Kempe off his skates, can't settle it down until he's in the corner. Kempe run into by Biega. Puck protected by Hamilton. Behind the net, it is Corrado. Corrado to the right side for Zaleski. And this one goes all the way down for an icing against the Comets. 4:35 now left here in the second period. Utica Comets hockey is brought to you by Engelbert Jewelers. One family, one commitment, over 100 years in business. Show them how much you care by taking your next jewelry purchase from the professionals at Engelbert Jewelers in Rome or New Hartford. Hamilton against Shore with the face-off matchup this time. Markstrom, 29th start, playoff start of his AHL career. 2.19 goals against average so far in the first 28 games. Puck came out to Miller, and his shot blocked by Gauntz, and it jumps out of play off his skate. And another face-off, but this time on the near side of the ice. He's 15-13 with a 2.19 goals against average and a .923 save percentage just in the playoffs in his career. Obviously 21 now of 29 career playoff starts have come here for the Utica Comets this season. Face-off one back, and it is Miller. Wristing one, into traffic, bounced away. O'Brien shot blocked by O'Reilly. Into the slot, short shot, deflected away by Biega. Far boards, this one touched out of the zone by Jensen. Shouldered by Forbort, and the puck rolls back inside the Manchester end. It is Miller Mishandling a pass is Forbort. Forbort pressured by Grenier, but he got it on for Shore. Shore with room to skate, working on Clendenning, drops for O'Brien, left side, Murch high and wide over top of the net, and it kicks around for Friesen, steered on to Grenier, it's just off his stick, and back for Forbort, he'll dump it in. Markstrom to stop it there, taken by Clendenning, ahead for Grenier. Grenier will knock this one in. Bartosak will grab it, and he'll leave it for Bodnarchuk. Left wing, this is Vandergooy, run off by Berchi, and a penalty coming here against Berchi. Berchi dropped his stick to emphasize that he had done no wrong, and he is still, in fact, whistled for the hooking call by Terry Koharski. So Berchi will go pick up his stick and take it with him to the penalty box, as the Comets will be forced to kill one here with 3.5 minutes remaining. O'Reilly is out in front of the Utica bench, skating around. I'm assuming trying to work through a Charlie horse that he got from blocking that last shot in front of Jacob Markstrom. Hooking against Sven Berchi. With 3:32 to go here in the second period, and the Comets protecting a 1-goal lead. Puck played out to Jordan Wheel for Manchester at the blue line. Down to the far wing, Shore. Into the corner for O'Brien. Back to Shore and then O'Brien. O'Brien fumbles it. Biega tries to jump on top of him. Knocks him off the boards. Played out to the blue line. Glove down by Wheel. Walking in, waits and fires. Gaunt's got in front of it. Puck came to Wasey Hamilton. He'll skate and then rip it down the ice. Played back at the goal by Bartosak as the Comets get some fresh killers out. 90 seconds to go on the kill. It's Wheel across the line, right down the middle, blocked by Anderson. Couldn't poke it out of the zone, could Acton. And now at the line, it's played for Murch. Murch stepping into the right circle, loads it, and then backs off to the boards. It is Shore to the line for Wheel. Wheel across the ice for Miller. Miller's pass missed Wheel, but came to Shore, and then to the goal line. Murch trying to drag it. Laying down was Corrado to block that option. Shore, double team, still floats it to the line for Wheel. Wheel leaving it for Shore. Winding and shooting, it's blocked and bounced in front, and the Comets get to it and clear it out of the zone. It nearly bounced to the back door for O'Brien, which would have been a terrible break for Utica after a healthy block in front of the goal, but the Comets got to it and cleared it. 45 seconds left on the Monarchs power play. Second of the game, it's Backman with a shot that's into the shin pads of Huskins. Near side boards, fed out for Bodnarchuk again. Then down low, played for Dowd. Dowd to the slot, deflected by DeFazio, kept in though. Near side down with a shot, Huskins got down on a knee to block it. Race to the puck, Dowd wins it. Holds along the board, slips it out for Miller, wristing a shot, tipped wide of the net as Markstrom scrambles back into the crease. It's played up, and it's Miller again. Far boards, to the front for Backman. DeFazio knocked it away. Bodnarchuk's shot, blocked aside by Markstrom and popped back behind the net. Biega trying to dig it away from Dowd. Comes free, take it, DeFazio flips it, can't get it out. Held in, Laverty into the corner, and it's Kempe. Out of the box comes Berchi. Puck handled here. Laverty working down the wall for Dowd. Dowd bumps it down in front for Backman. O'Reilly will steer it away. Came to DeFazio. Berchi's ahead of the play, and they'll float it towards it. Berchi coming after it as the Comets are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Corrado off the glass at center. This one handled by Vandergooy. He'll dump it back in onto the late offsides. Markstrom will stop it behind the net. As we approach the final minute of play here in the first, we've now reached that milestone. Second period, excuse me. Puck knocked down and it's Friesen. Friesen across the line for Conacher. Can't connect with Berchi either. And Justin Auger will rush ahead for the Monarchs. Auger to the outside, working on Corrado. Corrado tied him up and Conacher comes to take over. Conacher's backhand will travel all the way back into the Manchester end. No icing here. Gravel to track it down. Right wing side, and it's Auger. Auger bouncing it back, and Michael Murch lost it at the line to Anderson. Off signs is called. 32.8 on the clock here in the second period. This was a 2-1 lead for Utica when the period began, as Hunter Shinkarik just returned to the Utica Comets bench. He left early in this period and is now back with a half a minute to go. That's good news for Utica. Manchester has not gotten the AHL MVP or their starting goalie back. Both left with injuries in the first period. Hamilton and Wheel on the draw. Linesman pushing them apart. Puck does drop. Comets lost it. O'Brien drops it. Wheel a drive and a glove save from Markstrom. Mersch came hard to the front of the net. And as you can imagine, a crowd gathers. Comets gave up a goal in the final minute of the first. They do not want a repeat of that. They gave up a scoring chance with a sloppy exchange in their own zone. And Markstrom forced to make another save. Markstrom, originally drafted by the Florida Panthers in the second round in 2008, has played 50 games in the NHL, mostly for Florida, but was acquired by the Vancouver Canucks last season in exchange for Roberto Luongo. Utica is Markstrom's third American Hockey League team. He started with Rochester, continued with San Antonio, and is now playing in the Calder Cup Finals at the end of his first season in Utica. There'll be a face-off in the Utica zone with 27.1 on the clock. It'll be O'Reilly against Shore if they can get him lined up. Comets have Hamilton on the ice as well in case O'Reilly's tossed out of the face-off. Everybody jumped for a second time. Shore, Wheel, Hamilton all getting into it. And now O'Reilly is tossed out. And it will be Hamilton to take it. Comets now with Hamilton and Acton back in the lineup. Have some strong centermen to win some draws, and Hamilton wins this one. Huskins chips it ahead, and the Comets clear it out. Hamilton's pass hit a skate and came back in. Michael Mersch. Mersch wristing one, glove down by Markstrom with 16.7 left. Markstrom popped out of his crease. Looked like he was intending on playing that puck, but did not get the opportunity with the referee, Terry Koharski, there blowing it down. Another face-off inside the Comet zone. 16.7, it comes out to Laverty. Trying to go backdoor and hit the skates of Viega. Grenier flips it but can't get it out. 10 seconds on the clock. Bodnerchuk down the wall. Wristing one into Markstrom again with 6.7. And he's had to make 4 or 5 saves here in the closing 30 seconds of the period. He's now stopped 21 of 23 in the hockey game overall. And now, after Hamilton and O'Reilly have had their struggles, Will Acton will get an opportunity to take the draw. Brandon DeFazio and Brendan Gaunce, two defensively responsible wingers, are out there with him. 6.7, all that's left. An Acton face-off win, and Huskins clears, and the Comets will take this lead with him to the third. It is 3-2. Shore's got his stick down. Acton wins it back. It's chopped by Mersch coming into the circle wide of the goal. 2 seconds and 1. It's blocked by Viega, and the horn has sounded here to signal the end of the second period. There were some nervous moments throughout, but a goal credited to Cal O'Reilly on deflecting a Nicholas Jensen shot 6 minutes and 18 seconds into the second period is good enough to give the Comets a lead that they will take into the third period with them. The Comets did not have any lead at any point during either of the first 2 games. Third period, game 3 starts here at the Odd Comets with a 3-2 lead over the visiting Manchester Monarchs. As Utica flips this one ahead, it's at center ice. O'Reilly cuts it off and sends it to Bobby Sanguinetti on the right wing. Sanguinetti lost it, and here's Backman the other way for Adrian Kempe, who already has 2. Kempe to the outside, just gave it up as Peter Anderson came coming his way. Now it's Jensen and Shore battling for it. Puck hit the outside of the Utica net. O'Reilly left it back there for Anderson. Outlet it on for Grenier. Grenier looking rink wide to Jensen, who had to cut back for it, does, and then rims it around the back of Patrick Bartisak. Near sideboards. It is picked up and stopped behind the goal by Vincent Laverty. Giving back Laverty to the right side for Backman. Backman kicking it and playing it back for Laverty as DeFazio finishes his check with a thud. Here's Mersch up the left wing for Manchester. Chips it around Biega. Corrado will cut it off with two players coming from either side. Corrado is able to fight through both of them and then put a pass off the skates and stick of Brendan Gaunce, but it's collected by Colin Miller. Back to Gravel and then Miller again. It is Gravel in a minute and 15 gone by here in the third period. Right side, O'Brien works his way in. His shot went wide, and then Mersch's shot deflected away by DeFazio. Mersch was leveled by Biega down low. This sailing shot wide of the net from Gravel is now thrown out of the zone. DeFazio from the outside snaps one on goal. Bartosak kicked it away. Near side wheel. Leaves it alone for Miller. Miller dangerously high off the glass from his own end. Banked it out to center. Friesen able to grab it. Vandergulik was offsides. He pulled himself that way offsides. And so the face-off will take place just outside the Utica Comets defensive zone. The IBEW Local 43 Utica Contractors are proud supporters of the Utica Comets. And the Celtic Harp on Varick Street, Central New York's pre- and post-game headquarters, also a proud sponsor of Utica Comets hockey. Face-off comes to Berchi, back to Huskins, and now it's Clendening. Comets control. Conacher will dump it down. Send Berchi after it. Berchi knocks it away from Rain. Conacher comes in, punches it back on towards Berchi, but as it's cut off, it is down, looking for a way out. Blocked down by Friesen. Comets couldn't get to that loose puck though. Conacher with a good hustle pulls it away from Auger. Big 6'7", 230-pound Justin Auger. Lost it to 5'9" Corey Conacher. This one dumped in from center by Clendening. Conacher after it. Rain to Forbort. Forbort's pass stolen away by Conacher. And Hamilton trying to step down the wall. Had it poke checked away. Crescenzi working up ice. One hands it over. This one dumped down by Auger. Quickly out of his crouch was Markstrom. Played it with the stick. Sent ahead for Hunter Shinkarik. His first shift since early in the second period. Shinkarik mishandled trying to drop it for Hamilton. As it bounced to Crescenzi. Sanguinetti will cut it off at center. And now it's Shinkarik back to the outside. He'll dump it around the net. Bartosak back there, the goaltender to stop it. Near side, Bodnarchuk gave it away to Shinkarik. Shinkarik can't do much with it. Bodnarchuk will play it around the boards. Laverty to Crescenzi. And Crescenzi leads the pass ahead for Shore. Shore floats one towards the goal. Markstrom will glove it. Lost it. Loose puck back underneath him. And he's able to get the glove on it. Boy, an adventurous little dump in. As Markstrom, I think, thought one of his defensemen were going to stop that puck before it got to him. And then as it bounced into his glove, and as quickly as it went in, it bounced right back out. And then his first opportunity to cover it up wouldn't stick either. Had to get it pushed back towards him again to get the cover and the whistle. 16:57 to go. Third period. Shots are 32-25. Utica with a 3-2 lead here in Game 3. Manchester leads the series 2-0. Will Acton will handle the faceoff. Deep inside the Utica end. It's won by the Monarchs to the blue line. Miller shot blocked out of the zone by Brendan Gaunce. Gravel pressured by DeFazio, but got the pass to Mersch as he threw it into the breadbasket of Corrado. Corrado got knocked down to the ice, and the puck's under there somewhere. Able to get it free for Brandon DeFazio as DeFazio rushes ahead. He'll flip the puck, bouncing on goal. Bartosak to cover, and an offensive zone faceoff coming for Utica this time. A lot of stop and go here at the start of the third period. No real flow to it, as both teams look to get the advantage here in the third. Will either be a 2-goal lead for Utica or a tie hockey game, depending on the next goal, should we have one. The final 16 minutes and 35 seconds of the third. Utica Comets broadcast on K-Rock is brought to you in part by Tom Corralo's Restaurant, Dan Meehan, State Farm Insurance, and Avalon Document Services. Grenier off the draw, steps forward, shoots it towards the net, never got there. Sent off the glass. O'Reilly couldn't keep it in. Vandergulik the other way, rushing ahead. He'll dump it wide of Markstrom. Far side boards. Auger's shot blocked by Huskins. Huskins will clear this one up and across the line just by an inch, as the Monarchs unknowingly trying to play that puck. The whistle has been blown, and we'll see where they put this face off. It will have it just outside the Utica end. They won't rule it intentional. As it was a close call at the line, but it was clearly across it. Monarchs just hoping no one would notice. Puck sprayed back into the Manchester zone. The goaltender Bartosak out to play it. Vincent Laverty's pass. Left wing, Vandergulik. Hands on now and down. Trying to work it on Clendenning. Lost it. Clendenning. Nice play there to Grenier. Grenier working down the ice. Foot race between Bodnarchuk and Jensen. Bodnarchuk and Jensen got there together. Jensen got a stick and poked it behind the net. Bodnarchuk on it. O'Reilly nearly swiped it. And then this one rifled into the Monarchs bench out of play. From deep inside that Manchester zone. And our choppy play here in the start of the third period continues. 11th consecutive postseason sellout for the Utica Comets. Friday's game 4, Saturday's game 5 already sold out as well. Utica with a win here either today or tomorrow will get the maximum 3 games at home during the Calder Cup Finals. And it'll be 1 game shy of the maximum number of games they could have played, 14, in the entire Calder Cup playoffs here in this building. Pass to Conacher, jumped off his stick and out to center, and Peter Anderson will turn on the Jets to get it back for Utica. Anderson finds a way to center ice and walks into the line. Left side, Berchi tried to go back to Anderson, couldn't get his stick on it. Friesen with the pressure, and now Berchi on shore. Far side forward, run off along the walls. He bounced it out to center ice. Backman collided with the linesman. Friesen took the puck. He went back to where he thought Berchi was. Berchi had moved off the boards, and so Utica guilty of icing. Comets went the distance in the first round, which is only 5 games in the American Hockey League's Calder Cup playoffs. They beat the Chicago Wolves, the St. Louis Blues affiliate, 3-2. They played an epic 7-game series with the Oklahoma City Barons, the affiliate of the Edmonton Oilers, in round 2 of the Western Conference semifinals. Bobby Sanguinetti is on his way off the ice into the dressing room for Utica. We're guessing on an equipment issue as a quick shot that came in on net, and Markstrom played it away, and then Gravel's shot is deflected off the high glass behind Markstrom. Diego scoots it up the ice, came back to him. Diego left side for Berchi, he'll turn on the Jets. Berchi left wing, tried to throw it to the front, hit a skate, and came back Michael Mersch working on Corrado. Corrado jumped on it well, but it's handed on for O'Brien. O'Brien to the outside, defended by Wacey Hamilton, and he'll knock him off the puck along the end wall. Berchi's pass, rolls to Conacher. Conacher stops on a dime, gave the puck up to O'Brien, lifted down the wall for Michael Mersch. Mersch into the corner, put it into the paint, and it's covered up by Markstrom in his glove. And Diego and Mersch come together again. After the Comets advanced to the Western Conference Finals by beating Oklahoma City in 7 games, a 1-0 shutout win by Jacob Markstrom. The Comets played 6 games to dispatch the Grand Rapids Griffins in the Western Conference Final and move on to play the Manchester Monarchs here for that 35-pound trophy they award at the end of the season. It is 24 inches tall. It is made of a base of Brazilian mahogany wood topped with a 12-inch sterling silver bowl. It is named in honor of Frank Calder, the president of the NHL for 26 years, back from 1917 to 1943. It holds a plaque for the 20 most recent champions. The other 58 are on display at the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. Vandergulik to the front of the net. Markstrom shut it down as he hugged the post with the blocker. Centering feed, wrist shot in on goal, and there's another blocker save from Markstrom. Comets' third effort finally gets the puck out of the zone. Clendenning leads numbers ahead. Active, left side, Shinkarik back in front, rolling puck, and no one could settle it down wearing a white sweater. It's pitchforked back to center ice by the Monarchs. Rolling puck, Shinkarik ahead for DeFazio. One-on-one against Bodnarchuk. Acton trying to get in on the play, and DeFazio will roll it down the wall, then hammer Bodnarchuk against the end glass. And Acton ties up as he follows up that play. He and Nick Dowd were engaged as the puck comes to Bodnarchuk, and he rolls it out of the zone. Anderson will punch it right back in. 6 minutes gone here in the third period. Comets with a 3-2 lead here in game 3. Trying to get back in the series. Here's a chance at the side of the net for Jensen, and he can't get it to go. Bartosak to cover. It popped in the air from behind the goal, unbeknownst to Bartosak. It landed next to him in the crease, but he saw it before Jensen could tuck it in. 13:44 to go, third period. Comets by 1 on 94.9 K-Rock. Comets lead by 1, 13 and a half minutes to go in the third period. 3-2 the score, puck inside the Utica zone and play to the boards by Alex Biega. Biega trying to force it up the wall, followed up by Cal O'Reilly, kept in by Backman. Biega to Jensen, ahead to Grenier, and the Comets are out to center. Rolled softly in by Grenier, that allows the Comets to switch a couple of players out. Corrado, Huskins, and Berchi all on the ice now as Grenier throws a hard hit. Berchi walks into a turnover and fires one on net. Bartosak makes the glove save. Bobby Sanguinetti coming back to the bench for Utica as well. That was a great shift at the end of it by Alex Grenier as he came barreling down on a Monarchs defender, Colin Miller. Forced him to make a pass before he was ready, and then as it kicked across the slot, Berchi able to walk into that shot like a skills competition slap shot. The only problem is it wasn't flat along the ice, and the wobbly one was gobbled up by Patrick Bartosak. Face-off won by Utica. Backhanded wide by Brendan Gaunce. It's Mike Zaleski trying to go to work here. Comets dominated the first period of this game. Manchester has been pressuring back ever since. Comets haven't been able to set up like that very often after the first. As Hamilton's knocked down, play continues. Brendan Gaunce cycles for Hamilton. Trying to leave it back down for Zaleski. Forboard takes it. And now on for Michael Mersch. Mersch's pass skipped on by. Corrado backhands it ahead just out of the reach of Brendan Gaunce. It'll roll inside the Manchester zone. Laverty back in front of the zone net for Forboard. Forboard takes it, fires it down. Michael Mersch gets a stick on it, so there is no icing. Biega cancels him out along the corner boards. Frank Corrado let the puck get away from him, gathered it back up, bounced it to center ice. Laverty is there. 26-year-old captain for Manchester just gave it up as he fired it in. Corrado passed on for Conacher. Conacher tried to go back to Corrado, was cut off. Mersch trying to step in. Mersch got around Friesen. His backhand in front. Biega knocked it down. Auger was alone in front, and Biega saved a brilliant scoring chance there. Biega triple teamed as he tried to escape on the far side. Sent it around for Corrado. Nobody home near side. Conacher did get a piece of it, but on the wrong side of the red line, and so icing called here against Utica as Manchester's pressure continues. The shots were so lopsided in the first period, they don't look as lopsided anymore. Manchester pressured late in the first, so they picked up 9 shots. Utica outshot them 17-9 in the first period, and both teams have 18 shots since, evenly distributed, 14 in the second and 4 more here in the third. Biega, alley-oop to center ice. Miller falls down. Berchi tracking it down, but he winds up behind the net. Threw it off the outside of the cage, and then Conacher coming after it, can't come up with it. Colin Miller stumbling around there again, having some skate issues. Backhands it behind the goal to Kevin Gravel. And for Kempe, across the ice, Jordan Wheel. Wheel's pass to Gravel. Gravel looking for a way into the zone. Sanguinetti will take it away from Adrian Kempe. The 19-year-old has scored both goals tonight for Manchester. Jensen to Grenier, into the zone. Grenier is shot, blocked, pinballs around and winds up in the corner. Jensen will smack it around to the near side wall. Kempe is the only one there. Up ice, working on Sanguinetti. Kempe dropped it. O'Reilly got a skate on it, but it comes to shore. He rips one on net. Markstrom made the save, and as his mask pops off, that'll draw the whistles. Markstrom made that stop with his collar. And obviously it made some contact with his mask as well. The rule is that if the mask comes off, the whistle must be blown immediately. And Markstrom, who could feel his mask pop loose, dropped his head down, and the mask fell off quite easily. And he is right now getting his mask resecured. With 11:06 to go. Here in period number 3, Utica Comets Hockey is brought to you by Hilton Estate and Nedler Law, LLC. It's never too late to plan ahead. Call Robert Hilton for trusted experience and asset and nursing home protection, plus all levels of estate planning. Will Acton against Andrew Crescenzi, former Toronto Marley. And a false draw. Crescenzi tossed out. Manchester will need a new center. It'll be David Vandergool. Native of Abbotsford, BC, played his college hockey at Boston University. He hasn't been in the AHL playoffs since 2010, 2011 with the Lake Erie Monsters. Acton won it back. Clendenning rims it near side. Forbort is able to hold the line and then shoot it wide of the net. Shinkarik after it. Vandergool beat him to the puck though. Now behind the goal, it's Ken Hoskins. Hoskins off the wall. DeFazio can't clear. Backman ripped it wide. Loose puck far boards, and Backman beats Ken Hoskins there. This time Shinkarik will muscle it ahead. Acton off for DeFazio. DeFazio can't keep it on sides. As Will Acton wanted that puck, he was too far out in front of him. Dragged his leg as long as he could, but DeFazio couldn't get the motor running fast enough to get across that line. 10:39 to go. In a slow-moving third period, Comets and Monarchs. Utica has led this game since 5:45 of the first. But since the closing minute of the first period, it has been a one-goal game for most of this hockey game. Utica took a 2-0 lead. They had it for 37 seconds. Before it was back to a one-goal lead. Biega whiffed on a shot. Zaleski follows it up. Picks up down low behind the net. Zaleski finds some space. Puck rolled on him. He'll cycle here for Wasey Hamilton. Hamilton pokes it back for Gaunce. Gaunce trying to step away from Wheel. Changed directions twice. Zaleski got the puck. Here's Gaunce behind the net. Centers, and it rolls right through everyone and out of the zone. Comets had everybody working along the boards, and when that centering pass came, there was no one there to field it. Here's Gaunce right back in with a fluttering shot wide. Hamilton beats Laverty to the puck, strong on his stick, gets it to Gaunce. Gaunce will work the cycle once more. Zaleski, far boards. Zaleski pokes at it. O'Brien has it though for Manchester. Left it alone down low. Laverty bumped into the glass by Zaleski. Zaleski steals it away. The New Hartford native working hard down low. Knocked the glove off the hand of Laverty as O'Reilly got it to Jensen. Line, Biega, blast, and it's tipped wide. Near side boards, grabbed by Bodnerchuk. Kick behind the net. Laverty will try and get it out with one hand, one gloved hand, I should say, and he does. It is O'Reilly stopping in the Utica zone and then pushing it ahead, hoping Jensen can skate into it, but Colin Miller will beat him to the puck. 9:25 to go. Third period action, Comets with a 3-2 lead. Far side, brought ahead, backhanded in, on goal. Markstrom will save it and cover it with Nick Shore just outside the crease. 9:15 left, Comets by 1. This is Utica Comets Hockey on 94.9 K-Rock. minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the third period. Comets with a 3-2 lead. Shots are 35-29 for Utica, as the Comets have found a way to generate some offense, some shots, some scoring chances against Manchester tonight. A team that limited them to 17 shots in game one. Comets at 17 in the first period. Kempe bringing it in. Conacher, a great back check. Pulls it away. Headmans to Friesen. Into the zone. Bearchi to the net. Friesen drags. Cuts back. Shoots. Knocked down at the side of the goal. Bearchi handles here. Near side wall. As he's taken out, it's worked up the ice by Shore. Near side, and it is Friesen. Conacher at center. Turns it over. Conacher grabs it again. Shoots, and it just glanced off the blocker of Bartasek. He got fooled on that one. Now it's Bearchi again, curling along the boards. Quick shot from Clendenning, turned aside by Bartasek. Some of the best pressure the Comets have had here in this third, as the Monarchs get the red line and dump it in. Markstrom to the left wing, taken by Ken Huskins. Clendenning, back pass ahead, trying to sneak it through to Zaleski, cut off by Forbert, and Gauntz wouldn't let it go. Gauntz floats it over. Hamilton chasing to it. It's through the skates of Vandergoolik. Huskins will lift it out of the zone. A jumping, leaping hand pass here against Manchester. And the face-off coming at center ice. There were Comets in the vicinity, but no Comets touched it. The Monarchs are arguing it shouldn't be a hand pass. I don't know what that's going to do here. If it is a hand pass, which it was, we're having a face-off. If it's not a hand pass, we're having a face-off. It's going to be the neutral zone either way. Face-off will be placed just outside the Utica zone. With 8 minutes to go. Here in the third period. Will Acton, Hunter Shinkarik, and Brandon DeFazio. The Comets have done a great job rolling their four lines here tonight, getting the offense from one. The O'Reilly, Grenier, and Jensen line. All goals tonight have been scored even strength. We have only had 3 power plays in the game. Manchester 0 for 2, the Comets 0 for 1. Anderson with a hit, got the puck for Utica, and then hit behind the net. Comets, Brandon DeFazio goes down. Utica brings it ahead, but a penalty called, no penalty called here, but DeFazio is shaken up on the play, and he's going to head right off the ice here, down towards the dressing room, it looks like. Maybe. Comets. Brandon DeFazio is going to leave the ice as he got hit. A solid collision. It wasn't dirty and it wasn't high, and he was holding one of his arms and quickly dropped both gloves and his stick. And a scary moment there for Brandon DeFazio. It has been a tough game. To recap the injuries we've seen tonight, J.F. Berube, the starting goaltender, left after an apparent leg injury on a non-contact play at 7:51 of the first period. Brian O'Neill, the AHL MVP, was belted by Alex Friesen early in the first, hasn't played since. We saw Hunter Shinkarik leave for most of the second period, but has come back and been effective here in the third. And now Brandon DeFazio, the last to leave with 7.5 to go in regulation time. Brendan Gauntz wears a shot. Second try is blocked as well. And then Zaleski will chip it out of the zone. Gauntz trying to turn on the Jets, wrestling with Wheel, beats him, knocks him off the puck. Gauntz settles up in the corner, slides it through the crease. Nobody there to get a stick on it. Corrado will put it right back behind. Hamilton is there, pinched off by Laverty. Gauntz after it, puck held on the wall. Hamilton and Laverty continuing to dig. Gauntz and Wheel are the ones tied up along the wall. Hamilton knocks down Wheel. Gauntz takes care of Mersch, who's now involved. Mersch does spin away with it after help from Laverty, and then Zaleski knocked him off the puck. Comets get it deep and get a line change. 6:50 to go here in the third. Comets with a 3-2 lead, trying to get back in this series, down 2 games to none. Vincent Laverty will get it in off the stick of Zach O'Brien. Markstrom out of the net, will leave it for Clendenning. Off the glass, bouncing past Shore, kicked in, and played to Kempe. Quick shot. Huskins got the block on it this time. Puck out to the blue line. Miller just sneaks it back down the wall. Grenier diving, poking, and gets it out to center. Smacked right back in, though, by Kevin Gravel. Taken by Clendening. And as Clendening leads it ahead for Jensen. Jensen looking for open ice, traveling east to west, and curls back towards the benches and will lift it down into the Manchester corner. Miller stops behind the goaltender, Bartosek. Pass fed ahead. And this is icing against Manchester. 5:59 on the clock and a face-off back inside the Monarch zone. Utica Comets hockey is brought to you in part by Charles D. Saul Sales and Service for all your lawn, garden, and forest equipment needs. Visit Charles D. Stahl at one of their 2 locations in Little Falls or Marcy. Face-off coming between Friesen and Nick Dowd. Offensive zone for Utica. Utica's next shot will be their 38th of the hockey game. Comets can't keep it deep, though. Anderson bats at it at center ice, picked up by Gravel. Nearly swiped by Friesen, played back to Miller. Miller trying to weave his way in. Risks a shot that's deflected wide, wouldn't have counted anyway. Offsides is called. The break in the action with 5:45 left. Comets 3, Monarchs 2. This is the Calder Cup Finals on 94.9 K-Rock. It is down to the final 5 minutes and 45 seconds of the third period. Comets have led this game since the early stages of the first, but they're trying to close out their first win of the Calder Cup Finals. Friesen centers. Berchi can't get the shot. Leaves it for Clendening. Bartosek scrambling around as Clendening holds at the line. Shuffles one on goal. Bartosek peeked behind him, but he has the puck underneath. Berchi had a look at the net, but he couldn't twist it on goal. Instead, he left it out at the line for Clendening, who waited and then snuck one in on goal. And Bartosek made the save whether he knew it or not. Wasey Hamilton take the face-off with 5:26 to go. As he gets tied up, it comes to Gauntz. Fed to the line, Corrado will put it behind the net. The Comets with the lead can afford not to push things. What they want is the puck and in the offensive zone, and they do get possession back. Hamilton rips one off the outside of the net, and it's grabbed by Zaleski. Zaleski steps up to the half wall, tries to cut back around Wheel. Wheel stays with him, but Zaleski has it pinned. In his skates, works it free. Brendan Gauntz and Vincent Laverty now there. Zaleski comes over with a hit. Wheel steps in and takes the puck. His pass deflected by Hamilton, came to Corrado, and the Comets will dump it back in as Utica goes for a change. Grenier, O'Reilly, and Jensen. 4:45 on the clock. Laverty will dump it down around Markstrom. Anderson will get there, but so will Nick Shore. Shore and Anderson. It's on for Grenier. Grenier's backhand steered all the way out of the zone and trickling back into the Manchester end. Near side boards, O'Reilly applying pressure. Working on Gravel. Gravel's pass lobbed across the ice, and it comes for Colin Miller. Back to Gravel. Near side, Kempe. Kempe plays it back to Miller. And the Monarchs still having trouble moving through center. Comets have clogged the neutral zone quite well. This one dumped in by Manchester. First one to it, Sanguinetti. He's got a couple of seconds to take his time with it. Played up off the glass. Jensen banging at it. Can't get it to go. His stick came up high, and a penalty coming here against Jensen on a high stick. He was trying to bat a puck out of the air, and he got the mouth of Colin Miller. And a 2-minute minor at a terrible time taken by Nicholas Jensen. Comes with 3:59 to go in a one-goal game. It will be the third power play of the game for Manchester. It will be the most important penalty kill of the series for Utica. They have killed off 2 so far, 1 in each period. Hamilton, Gauntz, Biega, and Huskins. And the face-off is tied up. Loose in the circle, shot wide of Markstrom, and will be settled down on the near boards by O'Brien for Manchester. Fed down the wall to Shore. Shore gets double-teamed. Biega pulls it away from him. He gets tied up. Huskins gets involved with Dowd, and now as it sneaks out to the line, Miller winds, waits, pumps, lost a handle on it, had to pass it across the zone, and it's kept in. Work to Miller again. Gauntz playing without a stick as they get it to Shore on the near wall. Back to Miller. Miller straight away to Shore in the left circle. Down to the goal line for O'Brien. Tries to tuck it into the crease. Puck scrambling free as Markstrom reached for it, came up empty. Miller works it down the wall for Gauntz again. Gauntz goes to the bench for a stick as Shore sends it in front. This one batted away. Played by Gauntz with that new stick. He'll backhand it out of the zone. Comets get it cleared. Monarchs get a change. Comets do as well. 1:05 to go on the kill. 3 minutes remaining in the third period. Utica holding on to the 1-goal lead. Floated into the Comets' end. Corrado wins the race. Cranks it around the boards. Held in by Bodnarchuk. Floated to the front. Conacher again. Corrado again. Out of the line, Bodnarchuk. Winds it over for Wheel. Wheel, backdoor feed was whiffed on by Down. Near side again, Bodnarchuk across. Wheel with 40 on the Jensen penalty. Wheel down the boards. Sets up at the hash marks. Slipped on for Down. Blue line, Bodnarchuk. Left circle, Kempe. Kempe all the way over. Glove down by Wheel. Steps into a shot and Markstrom has it. Jordan Wheel let that one go. The puck was end over end. He still got a lot on it. And Markstrom swallowed it. 28 seconds left on the Jensen penalty. 2:27 to go in the third. The sold-out crowd here at the All trying to give a little extra energy to the 4 penalty killers, which are again Hamilton, Gauntz, Biega, and Huskins, the same 4 that started this penalty kill. Hamilton tried to go forward off the draw, ties up, squirts free near side. Biega racing to it, can't quite get there ahead of Miller at a lengthy head start. Far boards Hamilton, a chance to get it out, and he will. Bartasek couldn't play it. We're down to the final 10 seconds of the Comets kill. Out of the zone, it's Nick Shore. In across the line, O'Brien. Back for Shore. Backhanded on net. Markstrom plays it away. Out of the box comes Jensen as Miller handles it to the line. Wristing one. Markstrom a stick save. Biega pokes at it. Nick Shore steps off the boards. Shore to the front. Stolen away by Acton. Here comes to Jensen. The Comets are out to center. Jensen will push it in down the wing. And the Comets will get a change. 1:40 away. Back to 5-on-5. What a kill. Manchester fails to get the puck in the zone. Bodnarchuk at center ice across from Laverty. 90 seconds to go as the crowd starts to climb to their feet. To the bench goes Bartasek. Then in empty from Manchester. The puck comes to Berchi. Berchi looking all the way down, and it's blocked in front of the goal by Jordan Wheel. 6 attackers from Manchester. 75 seconds to play. In across the line, no. Turned over. Grenier handles and waits in his own zone. Put a pass through Cal O'Reilly. And icing is called against Utica. 64 seconds left. O'Reilly didn't know it was coming. Had he just gotten the piece, there would have been no icing. Mike Stothers still has his timeout. This looks like the time to use it, and he will. So Mike Stothers, with his team down by a goal, 64 seconds to work with, and the net empty. The Comets have outshot Manchester 38-32. But the majority of the Comets' shot differential came in the first period. Here in the third, the shots are 9-7 for Manchester. Utica's 3 for 3 on the penalty kill, including one just a few minutes ago when Nicholas Jensen was called for high sticking. O'Reilly, the Comets captain, who has a goal and an assist tonight, can't win this faceoff. Jordan Wheel to the front, Anderson blocked it away as we hit the final minute. Mercer on the boards, O'Brien to the front, back door, and a shot from Kempe, knocked down by Markstrom, and he's got it under there. Adrian Kempe, who has both goals tonight for Manchester, just got a great look from the bottom of the right circle. And a nice sliding save by Markstrom as he got from right to left in a hurry. 53 seconds to go. Comets will make changes. Manchester will hold steady. O'Reilly will stay out there with Gonson, Grenier, Huskins, and Biega. O'Reilly off the draw, wins it to the boards. Biega rims it around, but waiting for it is O'Brien for Manchester. O'Brien, blue line, Miller, winds, tipped wide. Huskins got a skate on it. 40 seconds to play. At the point, it is Wheel. Wheel down the wall. Kempe with Biega on him. Kempe pushed up against the boards. Help coming from Grenier. Worked free. Down low, Marsh tried to jam it. Markstrom the save. He gets barreled into. The net came off. A face-off coming in the circle in the Comet zone as Markstrom flat on his back trying to collect himself. 28.4 to go, and a free shot for Mersch on Jacob Markstrom. Referees will say no penalty. They'll say the Comets pushed him into him, but maybe a little extra with the opportunity for Michael Mersch. And after getting a look at it, Biega actually made more contact with Markstrom than Mersch did. The whistle was from the net rocking off its pegs. 28.4 remaining. And Utica will use their timeout. Give Markstrom an extra minute to collect himself. Give the 5 players that Travis Green will entrust to finish this game a little bit of an extra breather. 28.4. Here in Game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals. And the complexion of this series hanging in the balance. A Utica win, and the Comets are right back in this series. Game 4 will be on Friday night here at the Odd, and a win here tonight would guarantee a Game 5 here at the Odd on Saturday. Grenier and Gauntz are out there with O'Reilly again, who will take the faceoff. 6 attackers and an empty net for the Manchester Monarchs. They try and get everybody lined up fairly. O'Reilly and Shore on the draw. O'Reilly won it back. Huskins off the glass. Bounced it out to center ice. Into the wall back towards the Manchester zone. Played by O'Brien. Turned over. 17 seconds to go as Miller wants one last rush up ice. Colin Miller from the red line will dump it over the head of Markstrom. 10 seconds remaining as Biega throws a hit. Now in front, Comets clear it away. 5 seconds to go. It's 2-1 Manchester. Game 4 here on home ice for the Comets will be on Friday. Jacob Markstrom stops 32 of 34. And the Comets led almost the entire way. O'Reilly with a goal and an assist. Grenier with the save. And the Utica Comets defend home ice here in front of another packed house at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. We will hang here for the announcement of the 3 stars of the game. As the crowd here at the Odd, boy, no one has left, nor would you think they would have. We'll let you hear them, we'll let you hear the 3 stars, and then we'll join you once more from the Horton Room downstairs. And we'll have the New York State Tool post-game show for you. We'll take your calls.